afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. We are getting right into the breaking news developing this afternoon as 2 more cases of the coronavirus have been recorded in Dane County, but the new patients did not get it while traveling.
Our Amy Reed will have the details on that. The NCAA March Madness tournaments for both the men and the women have now been canceled.
Madison O'Neill will share how the WIAA is trying to make sure that kids can continue to play ball while staying healthy. Our team coverage starts, though, with Amy Reed, who has what we know about the latest cases and how the Governor Evers is responding to the virus. Amy, what do we know?
This morning, the governor declared a public health emergency to help manage the spread of this virus here at home. He joined the lieutenant governor and officials with the Department of Health Services in a briefing for reporters today. They issued new guidances on the virus, including the cancellation of events with more than 250 people, recommending against travel to areas of the U.S. with community transmission, and encouraging people to make sure they are prepared to stay home for 14 days if they need to, with food, supplies, and prescriptions.
We're at a moment, right? What we've seen around the globe, what we've seen here in the United States is that a couple of cases can quickly become many cases. And so we have an inflection point now to lean in, to do some of these things in an aggressive way in an attempt to reduce the spread of COVID-19. That is really our focus right now.
As for those 2 newly reported cases, we are just learning about those today. They're both in Dane County and had contact with one of the earlier reported cases here, but they are both isolated at home. The state said right now they have enough testing capabilities to test more than 100 people a day, but they will soon be at capacity. They said they will soon have to turn to the federal government for more.
Amy, thank you.
More breaking news this afternoon. The NCAA men's and women's March Madness tournaments have been canceled. The Wisconsin Badgers are also not playing in the Big Ten tournament. That was canceled this morning about 15 minutes before Rutgers and Michigan game was supposed to begin. The Badgers were set to tip off tomorrow morning. All remaining spring and winter NCAA championships will also be canceled. Also breaking this afternoon, the Forward Madison soccer team will delay the start of its season by at least 2 weeks. The United Soccer League made the decision this afternoon. Fans who purchased tickets to the April 11th home opener will have their tickets transferred to the rescheduled date. Upcoming high school basketball tournaments will still be held, but the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association is announcing today they'll be restricting the number of tickets.
Our Madison O'Neill is here to tell us what that means and what impacts are expected. Madeline?
Well, for the state boys basketball tournament coming to Madison next weekend, tickets will be limited to 88 per team, 2 supervisors, and a max of 22 personnel. Now, to put that into perspective, in 2017, attendance for the 3-day tournament was more than 80,000 people coming through the Kohl Center's doors. That's according to Destination Madison, a group that works to bring and keep events like the tournament here in Madison. Its CEO says she wasn't surprised by the news, which reflects other similar decisions being made nationally, but it was still heartbreaking.
So disappointed for our businesses and our community and for the residents that are here because people love this event, and it's to not have access to it, and they know that it's an understandable reason, but it's still really difficult.
Archer hopes people will still come to Madison to support their team, even if they aren't able to go inside the Kohl Center. Now, people like contest officials, scorekeepers, announcers, and WIAA staff deemed essential to the tournament administration will be welcome, but then people like cheerleaders, pep bands, and school photographers are not allowed, and these same limitations apply to the girls' basketball tournaments in Green Bay this weekend as well.
All right, Maddie, thank you. Senior Trump administration officials tell CBS News the president is considering a national emergency declaration for the coronavirus pandemic. President Trump continued to downplay growing fears one day after announcing a 30-day ban on non-Americans traveling from Europe.
It's going away. We want it to go away with very, very few deaths.
The reading is dispensed with.
Congress is now negotiating a bill intended to provide some economic relief to affected workers and families. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has canceled the Senate's planned recess, though several lawmakers are under self-quarantine and have shuttered their offices. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle continue to raise concern about the lack of testing kits.
People should not say, if you want a test, you go get a test right now. No one's satisfied with where we are right now. We've got a long way to be able to go to be able to get rapid, efficient testing.
The Capitol, the White House, and other federal buildings have shut down public tours.
The other major story this afternoon is the stock market, where the Dow dropped nearly 10% at the close. Michael George is on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with the latest.
It was another bruising day on Wall Street, driven by growing concerns over the coronavirus pandemic. The Dow Jones closed down more than 2,300 points. Stocks fell so fast at the opening bell, they triggered a circuit breaker that automatically halts trading for 15 minutes. It's the second time it's happened this week. There is a lot of uncertainty happening right now. How is that impacting the market?
So I think that the market hates nothing more than uncertainty.
The travel sector once again took one of the biggest hits after President Trump announced travel restrictions to the U.S. from Europe. On Thursday, the president tried again to reassure investors.
Taking a big hit, but it's going to all bounce back, and it's going to bounce back very big at the right time.
The president also outlined financial measures, including payroll tax cuts and low-interest loans meant to help people and businesses impacted by the crisis. But it wasn't enough to calm investors' uncertainty.
The market has been looking to Washington, D.C. for a little clarity on some type of I don't want to use the term bailout, but some type of supportive measure from the government.
Even the Fed's midday injection of $500 billion into the short-term lending market didn't turn things around for long. And until the virus is contained, more volatility is expected. On Wall Street, Michael George, CBS News.
And financial experts still suggest waiting it out and focusing on long-term investments.
Passengers at European airports are rushing to rebook flights to the U.S. after President Trump announced sweeping restrictions on travel. Passengers are waiting in long lines at many European airports not to board planes. They're scrambling to change their tickets. Starting midnight on Friday, travelers who've visited any of 26 European countries will be banned from flying to the United States. The rule does not apply to U.S. citizens, permanent residents, or their immediate family members. Some say confusion over who would be impacted has led to unnecessary worry.
Definitely been a lot of uncertainty, which has caused a lot of panic.
When we left California,
Everything was fine.
yeah, everything was completely normal. And as soon as we're in the air, we land and we get bombarded with messages.
Politically, it's also causing friction from European leaders who say fighting the spread of the COVID-19 requires global cooperation. They say President Trump blindsided them by announcing the restrictions without warning. The travel restrictions do not include the UK or Ireland, even though both countries are dealing with widening outbreaks of their own. Professional sports fans are also feeling pretty disappointed as 3 of the big 4 sports have suspended their seasons. The NBA is suspending their season until further notice after 2 players fell ill with the virus last night. The NHL also announced this afternoon it will suspend games indefinitely. Major League Baseball is suspending all operations, and the start of the season will be delayed for at least 2 weeks. NASCAR officials say they are monitoring the situation and expect to race the next 2 weekends without fans. And the PGA Tour will continue, but no fans will be allowed on the course. The NFL says it has no plans to change the start of its season, but that season doesn't start until September.
The list of events being canceled in our area continues to grow. If you were hoping to go to the St. Patrick's Day parade this weekend, that has been canceled. This was supposed to be the 23rd year of the parade. The post-parade party at LJ's is also canceled. Tours of the state capitol are also canceled in response to the pandemic. Any groups currently scheduled for a tour over the next 2 or 3 weeks will be contacted. Operations within the capitol will function normally. We understand that the coronavirus coverage has been a lot to absorb and to understand. So we have much more on our website, channel3000.com. And we want to let you know we'll have a live stream on our Facebook page with a doctor tomorrow afternoon from 2:30 to 3:30, where you can submit your questions and get some answers.
In other news, the Dodge County Sheriff has charged a Lomira woman with the death of her 3-year-old boy. The toddler was found dead last Friday at a home at 725 Railroad Avenue in the village of Lomira. Officials say an autopsy found the death was not of natural causes. The boy's mother, 32-year-old Jamie Hildenbrand, has been arrested. The father, 33-year-old Frank Pleister, is also arrested on a probation hold, but yet to be charged. We'll hear from the Dodge County Sheriff tonight at 6.
Let's get a first check on the weather now. Head out to the weather patio. It was cloudy today, but a little milder than yesterday.
But rain on the way.
Yeah. Dana?
No, Chris.
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry. Hi, Chris.
Hello. Yeah, there is rain on the way. In fact, we're already starting to see some of those raindrops coming down on the patio right now. I can feel them, although they're not showing up on radar just yet. So this is that low-level moisture starting to be impacted. But you do see a line of showers just to the west. We're going to watch that as that continues. So get closer. Here's a live look from the Platteville sky camera right now. Temperature-wise, we are sitting at 49 degrees. 50 show up just towards the south, and we'll continue to watch these temperatures very closely. We have a very strong south wind, but one of the things I want to show you is just back towards the north and west, where those winds are coming out of the north and west. What you are seeing right there is a cold front that is on the way. Those showers are out ahead of that front. In the meantime, look for those shower chances to continue, and we'll continue to see perhaps a decrease in the cloud cover as we move through the overnight hours with lows right around 32. But folks, just a little bit later in the show, I'll break down further timing on when that line of showers and potential thunderstorms will arrive, along with what we could see for the weekend, all that coming up at about 4:30.
Chris, we'll see you then.
Thank you, Chris.
Still to come at 4, from Madison to Napa Valley.
When we come back, how a Madison woman has become one of the top high-end winemakers in California. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Celebrate Ashley Home Store's 75th anniversary with the ultimate sale. Save up to 55% on dozens of furniture doorbusters throughout the store. Then get the ultimate party favor. Take a bonus 10% off our sale prices and 3 years no interest. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
At Mounds Pet Food Warehouse, we know that no two pets are the same. That's why each of our 5 southern Wisconsin locations is wall-to-wall with everything you and your pet need, including dog food, cat food, pet beds, thousands of toys, treats, and chews, and supplies for your small animals, birds, and reptiles, too. With so many options, finding what you need is easy. You gotta get down to Mounds and see for yourself. Mounds Pet Food Warehouse powers them all. And don't forget your free Mounds candy bar.
Not just better, it's the best Outback ever. The new 2020 Subaru Outbacks are at Don Miller. You'll get the Outback Advantage with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and EyeSight driver assist technology. Now with the Subaru A Lot to Love event, lease the Outback Premium, $249 per month, 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, no security deposit, $1949 due at signing, or choose 0.9% financing. The Outback at Don Miller Subaru, west on Odana or east side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping many people with type 2 diabetes like James lower their blood sugar. A majority of adults who took Ozempic reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it.
Here's your A1C.
Oh, my A1C is under 7.
And you may lose weight. Adults who took Ozempic lost on average up to 12 pounds.
I lost almost 12 pounds.
Oh.
For those also with known heart disease, Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as heart attack, stroke, or death.
It lowers the risk.
Oh.
And I only have to take it once a week.
Oh. Ozempic is not for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not share needles or pens. Don't reuse needles. Do not take Ozempic if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Ozempic. Stop taking Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, itching, rash, or trouble breathing. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your doctor if you have diabetic retinopathy or vision changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Common side effects are nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and constipation. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Once weekly Ozempic is helping me reach my blood sugar goal.
You may pay as little as $25 per prescription. Ask your healthcare provider today about once weekly Ozempic.
Celebrate Ashley Home Store's 75th anniversary with the ultimate mattress sale. Shop doorbusters, including our best deal ever on Beauty Rest mattresses, plus no interest financing for up to 75 months, and a free adjustable base upgrade with select purchases. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Well, Well, a passion for great wines sparked a Madison woman's desire to be a winemaker herself, and it took her all the way from Madison to Napa Valley, California.
Carrie Unger was born and raised in Madison. She is the winemaker for Napa-based Silver Trident Winery and creates ultra-premium wines from some of the best vineyards in Napa and Sonoma Valley. Carrie is back home this week for a visit. Welcome back to Live
Hi,
at
Carrie.
Four.
Good to see you again.
Thank you for having me back. I appreciate it.
How did this happen? How do you go from Madison to Napa and working for one of the high-end wine companies?
Well, it was kind of not the normal path. I actually went to school here for design and advertising and marketing, and I actually moved south to Texas as soon as I got out of school. Just weather, purely the weather. And so I started building a business there, and I got to where I was entertaining clients, and they were asking me to order wines at lunches and dinners, and I thought, well, I don't really know anything about this at all. And so I learned very quickly. And
you didn't know anything about wine?
Not really.
You bought your first grapes in California, right?
I did, yeah. We were raised with wine in the house. So, yeah, I learned pretty quickly, and quickly you have more wine than you can actually drink in your home. And I thought, how hard could that be to make? Let's go try that. And so I moved to California with the whole .com thing in 1999. And then in 2000, I bought my first half ton of grapes and a book and started making wine.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of women winemakers in California?
More now than there used to be, and there's been some trailblazers that have really paved a path, and I have to give them an awful lot of credit for making a way for the rest of us. But still about 12 to 15% of the winemakers are female.
Wow.
The cellar staff is higher. There's a lot more people working in the cellars and hauling hoses and cleaning tanks and all that.
So what's the difference between a $10 box of wine and a $150 bottle?
Well, to start with material, your cost of goods are actually a lot higher. So, and what's great about what I love about Silver Trident is we actually are buying the best grapes available. So when you're already paying that much for your raw goods, there's no way that's going to end up in a box or a can, for that matter, because cans are super popular right now. So really it's that. And then we're very small. We're tiny. We make less than 3,000 cases a year, and so we don't own our own winery building, and so we're in a custom crush facility. So it's just an economy of scale. Once you make enough that you can put it in a box, you can afford to put it in a box. We just don't make enough.
And your wines are available in the Madison area now.
They are. I'm so excited.
Where some of the places?
You can buy them retail. We've got them in Steve's and in Barrique's, and then we also have them on the wine list at Tornado Room. Maple Bluff Country Club has them now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. NOV.
Cheers. Cheers. It's been a week. We need a drink.
What are we drinking here?
Thank you. This is our rosé of Pinot Noir. Comes from Sonoma County, actually, and it's just grapefruit. I mean, we're crazy, but we take red grapes and we turn it into pink wine and then charge half the price. Who knew? We call this Apollo's Folly.
So, and you have the whole lineup.
Well, I have the whole lineup here, and I did bring a few nibbles if you come to Yountville. And we do a little tasting in our tasting home. We actually have little nibbles paired up. We've got little goat cheese that goes with the Sauvignon Blanc and some mushroom duxelle that goes with the Pinot Noir. And so you can sit down and taste the 5 wines and have a little nibble with each of the wines.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to Madison.
Yeah.
Stop by
Thank you.
anytime.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
How about if I just leave these here for you guys?
By the end of the show.
It'll be a great 6 o'clock news.
There you go. Oh, it'll be awesome.
Enjoy your stay, Carrie. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you again. Continued
Thank you.
success.
Thanks.
And there's more to come at 4. It's another cloudy day.
We'll check in and see if we can expect any sun coming our way. Chris Reese has the forecast when Live at 4 continues.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized Sale on now. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted sofa just right for you.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
Managing type 2 diabetes? Dimitri's on it. Eating right and getting those steps in?
On it.
Dimitri thinks he's doing all he can to manage his type 2 diabetes and heart disease, but is his treatment doing enough to lower his heart risk?
Sorry.
Maybe not. Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And it lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk risk of a fatal heart attack?
On it. With Jardians.
Ask your doctor about Jardians.
It's the SUV for all you love, the 2020 Subaru Forester at Don Miller. Get the Forester Advantage with Subaru Eyesight Driver Assist technology and blind spot detection with rear cross traffic alert. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, lease the Forester Premium $269 per month plus tax. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year, $1969 due at signing. No security deposit. The Forester all-wheel drive plus MPG. Don Miller Subaru, West on Odana or East Side, High Crossing Boulevard, Madison.
Don Miller.
The ups and downs of frequent mood swings can plunge you into deep depressive lows, take you to uncontrollable highs, or make you feel both at once. Overwhelmed by bipolar 1 symptoms? Ask about Vraylar. Some medications only treat the lows or the highs. Vraylar effectively treats depression, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1. Full spectrum relief of all symptoms with just one pill once a day. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may mean a life-threatening reaction. Or uncontrollable muscle movements may be permanent. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. Metabolic changes may occur. Movement dysfunction, restlessness, sleepiness, stomach issues are common side effects. When bipolar 1 overwhelms, Vraylar helps smooth the ups and downs.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers factory authorized sale on now. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted sofa just right for you.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Wanakee Furniture, etc.
Well, take a look at this. A security camera captured what happened after a pair of cars drag raced down a Florida neighborhood street and that did not end well. One of the vehicles hit a ditch and went airborne, landing hood first upside down. Emergency crews and police swarmed the scene quickly. The two teens were reported in the vehicle when it crashed. An eyewitness told local reporters one of the teens suffered a couple of broken ribs.
Very lucky.
Don't do that.
I don't know if we should be showing this today because poor Chris was just in a car accident.
Yeah, I was in a car accident on Monday in a neighborhood road. Thankfully everything was fine.
Yes.
But it was a situation where unfortunately another driver was on their phone looking for a podcast and didn't see me in the intersection, but we're okay.
Your day can change in a
split second. Can change in a split second.
You're okay and the other driver is okay.
And
Thank
so that's
goodness.
what's good
That's
news.
the important.
Yes,
cars
absolutely.
can be replaced.
Exactly.
All right, so some rain on the way.
That's right, rain is on the way. A little drizzle out there now, but there's a main line of showers with thunderstorms. Well, possible thunderstorms that I'm tracking. I'll have that full forecast coming up right after this.
Now, a WISC-TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinan.
Admit it, you were in the grocery store today. Woodman's on the west side around 12:30 or so. I was there then, and I swear I saw most of you. I've never seen so many shopping carts filled with toilet paper. Every checkout line was at least 10 carts deep. What I found rather reassuring was the number of people talking to each other, making jokes, mostly at their own expense. We're all trying to do the right things. We're all trying to make sense of this. Governor Evers' declaration of a public health emergency was galvanizing as well. It is now, as the governor said, all hands on deck. The Department of Health Services can now tap into additional resources and support local health departments. The National Guard is ready to help. We may not be together physically as much for a while, but it's good to know we're in this together.
Don't wait until the weekend to enjoy a thick charbroiled steak made to your liking. Make a weeknight steak night at High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. Well worth the short drive to Ridgeway.
It's Ford Truck Month, and if this is your kind of day, and this is your kind of truck, then this is your month. Ford Truck Month. Now, get great deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 43 years.
Like a Ford F-150 with 0 for 72 months. Or you can lease one for just $239 a month.
tax time blowout at American Freight. Take it home today for $50 and no payments for 60 days. Mattress sets from $49 each piece. Memory foam mattress sets from $119 each piece. 3-piece bedrooms from $198. Reclining furniture from $198. Sofas from $198. And sectionals from $298. Free layaway until tax time or longer if needed. Same-day delivery ends March 31st at the corner of North Stoughton and Kinsman Boulevard.
My psoriatic arthritis pain, I had enough. It's not getting in my way.
Joint pain, swelling, tenderness, much better.
My psoriasis, clearer. Cosentix works on all of this.
4 years and counting.
So watch out.
I got this.
Watch me.
Real people with active psoriatic arthritis are feeling real relief with Cosentix. Cosentix is a different kind of targeted biologic. It treats the multiple symptoms of psoriatic arthritis to help you look and feel better. It even helps stop further joint damage. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur.
I just look and feel better.
I got real relief with Cosentix.
Watch me.
Feel real relief. Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
If a wedding or special event is in your future, consider the new Grand Ballroom at High Point Steakhouse. With panoramic driftless area views and an award-winning custom menu, it's the perfect choice for the perfect wedding or banquet. The Grand Ballroom at High Point Steakhouse.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We have a complex weather setup across the country that's been leading to showers and thunderstorms for pretty much all of the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. Some of those to our south could be on the strong side, but here's everything we're watching. There are two different areas of low pressure. One is in northern Wisconsin right now. This cold front is getting ready to touch off some showers as we move a little bit deeper into the evening here. Then you have this next area of low pressure across Missouri. We're watching areas right along this warm front here for some potential strong to severe thunderstorms headed into the afternoon. In fact, you have a lot of storms that have developed over the past 6 hours throughout parts of Indiana and Kentucky. And right where you see the severe thunderstorm warnings, that is where we do have that severe weather outlook. Now, what I want to point out is just the general thunderstorm outlook on the outside of that. That does include most of Wisconsin, so do not be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder or two as we head through the rest of the afternoon and evening. But here's that line of storms. A lot of that, or line of showers rather, a lot of that has been towards the north today and back towards the west. It's been very slow moving, but that's gradually starting to push towards the east now. So we're dealing with showers anywhere from, say, places like Platteville and Dodgeville up through Lodi and then towards the north and east. And this is now starting to knock on the door here in Dane County. So if you live out in Mount Horeb or Cross Plains up towards Black Earth and Mazomaney, you are now starting to get in on a little bit of a steadier shower activity. And so that's going to continue up County Highway J there and continue to push towards the east as we go through about the next hour or so. Temperature-wise, we're at 49. Winds are coming out of the south and southwest at 11 miles per hour. 54 in Janesville right now, 50 as you work your way towards Monroe. We have that strong southerly wind, but you see just back towards the north and west where those winds now begin to come out of the north and west. That's the cold front, and that's what's going to help push those showers along towards the south and east as we go through the next hour or so. By 5 o'clock, look for those showers in western Dane County. That will traverse Dane County from 5 to 6 o'clock. So if you're going to be traveling on the roadways during this time or out, that's when you need the umbrella. This is when the roads will be most likely impacted from the rain. Now, we will clear out overnight as that northwesterly wind takes over. Overnight lows come all the way down towards the freezing mark, but that's where we bottom out. We stay a little bit cooler as we move through tomorrow as well. We'll see plenty of sunshine for your Friday, but temperatures will top out only into the mid-40s compared to the 50s. Cloud cover returns a little bit as we move into Saturday, but what's responsible for that cloud cover will likely stay towards the south as we move through the weekend. Anyone who's going to be traveling to places like Nebraska and Iowa may get in on a little bit of snow. That should stay south of us. We'll watch for our next rain chance to actually come our direction sometime Wednesday night into Thursday. That's when we could see the next rainmaker here in south central Wisconsin. And one of the things I always point out is that when you have warmer than average temperatures across the southeastern part of the country with colder than average temperatures towards the west, what you end up with is a storm track across the center part of the country. So in the same token, look at the 6 to 10 day probability of precipitation outlook, and we are looking at well above average rainfall and just precipitation in general. That's going all the way through March 22nd, folks, so things will certainly be very busy for us. In the meantime, we have a couple of dry days coming up. That'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, perhaps Monday and Tuesday, but we're going to be watching those rain and thunderstorm chances arriving by the end of next week. Perhaps a little mix to start off next weekend.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Coronavirus has a lot of people feeling very scared right now and confused, and sadly, scammers are taking advantage of that.
Cyber criminals and other scammers are losing no time exploiting the current situation. Tiffany Schultz is the Southwest Wisconsin Regional Director of the Better Business Bureau. Welcome to Live at 4.
Hi, Tiffany. Good to see you.
Good afternoon.
I guess this is no surprise.
This isn't. Scammers follow the news, and they are there to jump on any opportunity that they have.
And you've seen new things popping up just this week, right?
There are things out there that we want consumers to be aware of them. It may not happen tomorrow, but it will be showing up in email boxes, on phone calls, you name it. So
what's all out there?
Spoofing is the first thing, and it can happen via email, phone calls, text messages, and scammers call, and they're going to be impersonating the CDC. So it really looks real, and they may ask you, oh, read some new information on the coronavirus, here's a link, and you click on it, and it could download malware to your computer. And once they have that malware on your computer, they have access to your computer, and they can get any of your personal information. If you online bank, if you pay bills online, all of that information could be in the hands of scammers.
How do you know if it's really the CDC?
The CDC is probably not going to be emailing you, calling you unsolicited. So
okay, that's good to know.
If you get an unsolicited email, phone call, you should put up those red flags.
And there's fake websites out there?
There will be, yes. Scammers are going to be putting out fake websites with fake URLs. They may look real. They have fake logos on them. And it could be anywhere from them trying to sell you damaged, tainted, used products, expired products as a third-party seller, or it could be something with fake information on it, all meant to gather personal information. Maybe they want you to buy something. If you buy, for example, a face mask, and they could get your credit card information, never ship you the product. They have your credit card information. So just be really careful who you're ordering from in the time to come.
What is the difference between spoofing and phishing?
Spoofing is where they impersonate. It looks like it's coming from, for example, the CDC. Phishing is when they look for personal information. So they're offering a product or they're offering some information to get information from you.
Okay.
So, I mean, if CDC is not going to contact you, and if you want to buy face masks, you go to Amazon.
Right.
They're not coming to you.
But be very careful on Amazon, because these third-party sellers are going to be showing up, and they could be the ones who are selling these fake products, counterfeit products, expired, tainted, damaged merchandise.
So how do you know?
You really have to do your research. Research the seller. If it's an unfamiliar website, you probably want to go somewhere where it's a little bit more familiar. You can check out free business profiles at bbb.org. You can start there. Google the company name, Google the seller name. Really dig deep. If you're purchasing off of an unfamiliar website, you can look at when that website was made and where it's coming from. If it's coming from China, if it's coming from Hong Kong, you probably don't want to buy from it.
And if it sounds too good to be true.
It probably is too good to be true.
And then, of course, there's Facebook and Twitter and social media.
Right, and all of that is just feeding in. If you see an ad on social media, there's a lot of fake ads on social media that direct you to an unfamiliar, unsecure website. So you want to look on websites for that little secure signal. It's either the HTTPS or it's the little lock button. So when you're purchasing from a secure site, that's something that you can look for too. Not necessarily is it legitimate. You do really need to do your homework out there, especially for the weeks to come.
Yeah, because they look so authentic. They look so real. It's so easy to get duped.
Right.
They use the logo, they use everything.
Right, and sometimes with the phone calls and emails that are coming in, they send you an email or they call you, and then they follow up with another means of communication, text, email, phone call, to really make it seem real. And it's not necessarily real. Most likely, it's not going to be real. So really be wary, really be on guard with all of these scams that are following the news of the coronavirus.
Bad people taking advantage of a terrible situation.
Happens every time.
Yeah, it does.
Sad but true.
Right.
Yeah.
Be vigilant.
Absolutely.
And your website again is one more time?
bbb.org.
You might want to bookmark that one.
And wash your hands.
And join our Facebook page too, and we'll be posting information on there.
Great idea.
There's more to come at 4. We're taking
Good to see you, Tiffany. Thank you.
We're taking a tour that is of a new exhibit from the Wisconsin Historical Society.
And then coming up tonight at 5, continuing coverage of coronavirus, what it could mean for you if you have plans this weekend. That's coming up tonight at 5.
Welcome to the all-new Dwellings. Don't miss our new Fitchburg showroom grand opening now through March 31st.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto is a heart failure medicine prescribed by most cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Heart failure can change the structure of your heart, so it may not work as well. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. And with a healthier heart, there's no telling where life may take you. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto for heart failure, and trust your heart to Entresto.
It's perfect. Thank you for choosing our home. Here's a list of our favorite spots to help you live like a local. And here is our Spectrum Wi-Fi password and a channel guide to help you settle in.
Did you say Spectrum?
Experience the fastest starting speeds for the price with Spectrum Internet. At 200 megabits per second, you'll enjoy faster surfing, streaming, and gaming. Switch to Spectrum Internet for $44.99 a month. Call 833-902-4499. Then lose yourself in the best in entertainment with more HD and more free on demand. With thousands of free titles to choose from and the best in live TV, there's always something on. Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Plus, download the Spectrum TV app for more ways to watch. Call 833-902-4499.
It happened again. You guys were supposed to leave yesterday.
Is that my robe?
Is it?
Lose yourself in the best internet and TV with Spectrum. Switch now from $44.99 a month each, all with no contracts. Call 833-902-4499.
Dwellings, Madison's best kept $150 secret. Visit our new Fitchburg showroom grand opening now through March 31st.
Tonight at 5, the WIAA says it will continue to hold girls and boys basketball games across the state, but there will be restrictions for the games. We'll tell you what they are at 5.
Showers along this evening, and Friday will be sunny, windy, and colder. The weekend should be cool and mainly dry, but milder and wetter weather returns later next week. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, as the governor declares a public health emergency due to coronavirus, we're asking a psychologist what fear about the infection spreading can do to all of us.
Here's a live shot from downtown on this cloudy Thursday afternoon. Chris will have an update on the forecast in just a little bit, but we have more breaking news from the Channel 3000 Alert Center this afternoon.
UW-Madison has decided not to host next weekend's boys basketball tournament at the Kohl Center. WIAA has not responded. We'll have more coming up at 5.
Boy, everybody's wondering about that. So many student athletes affected. So tune in at 5. We'll have the update. Coronavirus, as you know, is impacting many businesses in a very big way.
That includes the restaurant industry. Chris Martinez explains.
This Silicon Valley deli is usually packed with people during lunch, but business has dropped with nearby tech companies telling employees to work from home.
It's very significant, especially with the startup that we are trying to build our business, and something like this to hit us. It's not crippling us by no means, but it is significant.
It's a similar situation for businesses near colleges that closed because of the outbreak.
We're still serving the people, but not as many people are showing up.
Restaurants and tourist spots are seeing an increase in empty tables. And catering operations in some areas are hurting as people look to avoid gatherings.
A bunch of parties canceled in the past week or so.
Now businesses everywhere are implementing extra steps to try and reassure customers. This LA restaurant is actually taking every customer's temperature before they come in. Anyone with a fever or who refuses it is asked not to dine.
99% people, they really understand. They also cooperate with the taking like temperature.
We appreciate the extra precautions that they're taking. So plus the food is absolutely delicious.
And this Michelin-rated restaurant is offering black glove service. Everyone from the waiters to the bartenders are wearing them.
Every time a table is touched, those gloves are changed out and hands are sanitized for new gloves so that there's no cross-contamination between tables.
They're also modifying the dining room, moving tables at least 6 feet away from each other in an effort to slow the spread and comfort customers. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And it's trying times for everyone. Well, still to come at 100 years ago this year, women won the right to vote.
In honor of that, the State Historical Society is honoring the suffrage movement with a new exhibit. We'll take you on a tour when Live at 4 continues.
We're here today at Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, and I'm joined with Josh Galoni. Now, this is a beautiful showroom. Tell us a little bit about what makes Lazy Boy different.
Sure. We focus more on fit and comfort for the person, and then accommodate the function of what they're doing in their room on a daily basis to really fulfill all their needs, wants, and desires so that they can be happy with their product for the longevity of how long they're going to have Lazy Boy, because it is manufactured and built still 100% here in the United States. So we really love that. Our in-home design system is basically a process that we can take a consumer through. It really puts a lot of the headaches to rest for them, the complications of running around from store to store, and do it all in one store. It really helps with technology nowadays because we can actually take and build your room three-dimensionally and lay out things. We want your friends and family to come into your room and go, wow, this is you. You know, that's our goal. But really to accommodate also the function and the daily tasks of what you're doing in that room. Our two-chair deal is something that a lot of the community around knows about the sale that we run. The two-chair deal allows the consumer to pick two of the same chairs, maybe apply different materials to them, or take and get two completely different style chairs. But what we're doing is we're giving you an additional $50 off the current sale pricing on those two chairs. So you're saving a little bit more on the two chairs, but it allows you to get maybe two different chairs, and they don't have to be exactly matching.
Live life comfortably. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
I didn't choose this exact type of metastatic breast cancer, but I did pick Clarity by knowing I have a treatment that goes right at it.
Discover PICRAY, a treatment that specifically targets PIK3CA mutations in HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC. PICRAY is taken with fulvestrant after progression on hormone therapy and helps people live longer without disease progression. Do not take PICRAY if you've had severe allergic reactions to it or any of its ingredients. PICRAY can cause serious side effects, including severe allergic and skin reactions, high blood sugar levels and diarrhea that are common and can be severe, and pneumonitis. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms of severe allergic reactions or high blood sugar while taking PICRAY. Your doctor will monitor your blood sugar before and during treatment, and more often if you have type 2 diabetes. Before starting, tell your doctor if you have a history of diabetes, skin reactions, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Common side effects include rash, nausea, tiredness, weakness, decreased appetite, mouth sores, vomiting, weight loss, hair loss, and changes in some blood tests. Ask your doctor about PICRAY.
4:43 now. Let's go ahead and show you guys the traffic and how things are shaping up. This is the Beltline right now, right over at Todd Drive. And we're seeing the traffic volume on the increase, but there are, of course, some areas where we are slowing down, too. For the most part, things are moving, but they're just a little bit slower. Those average speeds right around Todd Drive are right around 24 to 38 miles per hour, depending on where you are. Now, it speeds up a little bit as you get past Fish Hatchery. That's where things speed up to about 59 miles per hour. Downtown, we're seeing those slowdowns as well, particularly on University and Johnson there. We're also seeing some of the outbound slowdowns as you come outbound Park Street, right around that intersection with Fish Hatchery there. But right now, your slowest drive time is the typical slow drive time. That's the Beltline eastbound from Verona Road to John Nolan. That'll take you about 7 minutes with an average speed of 36 miles per hour.
All right, Chris, thank you. This woman ends up reading herself to sleep instead of her son. Her husband checks the baby camera to see how things are going, only to discover his wife is catching some shut-eye on their son's bed. Meanwhile, the 2-year-old's wide awake and playing a puzzle.
Oh, that is hilarious. Boy, every mom watching can relate to that.
There's sound asleep. Oh, there's the 2-year-old.
That's so cute.
Wide awake. Well, every month we're working with the Wisconsin Historical Society to highlight the state's history.
In this month's edition of Hidden Treasures, Simone Munson from the Historical Society takes us through the new exhibit on Wisconsin's role in the suffrage movement.
Why was someone anti-suffrage? What was the theory behind that? And a lot of people believed, both men and women believed, that their vote was represented by their husband's vote or their father's vote, and so they didn't need the vote. And there are lots of different arguments that are made for trying to exclude women from this. So there was this idea for much of the 19th century and before that women kind of belonged in the domestic sphere and men belonged in the political sphere, and you did not cross over. And so they're trying to get at this idea that women don't belong in the political sphere, so they don't need the right to vote.
So Wisconsin has a sort of a unique role in the suffrage movement and the final ratification.
Yeah, so Wisconsin is the first state to ratify the 19th Amendment. Wisconsin, Illinois, and Michigan all vote on the same day to ratify the amendment, but Wisconsin is the first state that turns our paperwork into the State Department in Washington, D.C., so we get the distinction of being the first state to ratify the 19th Amendment. This was the piece of paper that was sent from the federal government that said, this is the language of the amendment and we want you to vote on this language.
Is this the original one?
That's the original one.
That's amazing. And this exhibit exemplifies Wisconsin's journey, right?
Yeah, so the We Stand on Our Shoulders exhibit at the Wisconsin Historical Museum is talking about the role of women's suffrage, the suffrage movement, and the passage of the 19th Amendment. And then we also wanted to go to the next step and say what happened after the passage of the 19th Amendment. So how were women first involved in politics? What was the road for getting more equal representation within our government?
And there was some resistance to all this at first.
There is, yeah. It takes a while for women to achieve the right to vote in this process.
It is a menace to the home, men's employment, and to all business.
That's right. That's right, yeah. It's a long struggle. It goes through many different phases before women are successful in convincing the men of our country, really, that we deserve the right to vote. These are tunics that women would have worn to rallies to help support the suffrage cause. In 1916 in Chicago, the Republican National Convention took place in Chicago. And so they wanted to gather at a place where they knew that there would be lots of men thinking about politics and this sort of issue. So yeah, we opened the exhibit with the tunics and sort of talking about how women were able to try and convince the population that they deserved the right to vote.
And this is an original one. This is a real one.
Right, exactly. So some of the tunics are reproductions, but this is an original tunic that was worn in Chicago in 1916, along with some of the other armbands and banners and
Were they all different colors, or did everyone wear yellow?
So in all of the Wisconsin tunics were yellow. Every state kind of designed their own outfits and regalia, but the colors of the suffrage movement are often yellow, purple, and white.
As we go along here, are these some high-profile Wisconsin women?
Yeah, so all the women that are on this wall of the exhibit had some important role to play in the suffrage movement. Women like Lavinia Goodell, who was the first woman allowed to practice law in Wisconsin, and she had to petition all the way to the Wisconsin Supreme Court before she's given the right to practice law. And so she doesn't actually get permission to practice law until 1877 or 1879. I'm sorry, and this is the certificate that grants her permission to be able to practice law in the state. But other women were doing their jobs, you know, printing newspapers, giving speeches, trying to convince the men of our country that this is an important issue that they should agree with. So, you know, very well-known women like Belle Case La Follette, who's also a Wisconsin First Lady, and Theodora Winton Yeomans, who had a regular column in the Waukesha Freeman where she would write about suffrage issues. The press plays a very important role in helping women get out the word about why this is important. Getting the right to vote is just the first step. So we also wanted to highlight women who were influential after the right to vote is achieved. And so people like Bernice Lindsay, who was an advocate in Milwaukee for fair housing and was involved in a lot of political activism regarding fair housing in Wisconsin. This is Val Phillips's desk.
Really?
So Val Phillips, who is the first African-American and first woman who's elected to the Milwaukee Common Council, this is the desk that she sat at as a representative of the city of Milwaukee, helping to, you know, pass city ordinance and make decisions about, you know, desegregation and workers' rights and all sorts of things.
It was a rough road for women in Wisconsin, wasn't it?
It is. It's a rough road for women everywhere. You know, one of the things that people often think is once women got the right to vote, then that opened up all these doors for people. But what we see is that women aren't actually able to enter the political sphere for some time. So there's a short period in the 1920s where we see women starting to occupy political office for the first time. And then that kind of dies down. We have the Great Depression and World War II, and women aren't being as active in politics. And it's not until the 60s and 70s when we start to see women re-entering this political sphere and really starting to take office. But unfortunately, even at its peak, women only ever occupy 1/3 of government. So we make up 50% of the population, but only take up 1/3 of our government seats.
To this day.
To this day.
There's a parallel today, yeah. It is really worth seeing.
It is fascinating.
Very interesting.
It'll be on display until January of next year, so you have plenty of time. And there's a big celebration in August on the exact date.
Right. I think that's August 26th.
Yep.
But look at their website for more information. And thanks to Simone. We're really enjoying exploring our hidden treasures at the Wisconsin Historical Society.
And this one is at the museum on the square.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be right back with the final check your forecast.
Roll playback.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized Sale on now. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted sofa just right for you.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
When being sick isn't as bad as not knowing why you're sick.
When questions lead to confusion.
And angst and anxiety. When it feels like there's a tiger chasing you into the darkness.
And all you want is a little light.
A little hope.
This is when you need the best of the best. Doctors who don't just perform cutting-edge procedures and treatments. Doctors who invent them. UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs. Stay-at-home parents. Salad lovers. Barbecuers. Smorgasborders. Hors d'oeuvres. Fondue-ers. And flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Pick and Save, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with same-day pickup and delivery. Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
Spend more time on your health, not your drive to the gym. Anytime Fitness has 40 area locations, so they're close to home and work. Get more strength training, more cardio, and more coaching at Anytime Fitness. Now, get a 2-week membership at Anytime Fitness for just $2.
Don't miss the Smith Brothers Factory Authorized Sale on now. Select from many styles on our showroom floor or custom order the Amish crafted sofa just right for you.
Save big on quality Smith Brothers furniture.
At Wanakee Furniture, ETC.
They look like legitimate political ads on your timeline. In reality, they're proof of Russian interference.
They tried to sow the division and then tried to suppress the vote.
Are you their next target? Tonight on News 3 Now at 10.
Hi everyone, Friday morning, Hattie has her eyes on a pretty nice weekend. She'll have the latest First Warn forecast.
And we're getting an early start to Pie Day with our annual pie eating contest at Hubbard Avenue Diner. We'll see you starting at 4:30.
See you then.
Some rain moving through.
Yeah, we're going to be watching the radar closely as the next line of showers moves through. That'll be picking up as we go through about the next hour. After that, we clear out. Look for overnight lows falling down towards 32 degrees. Attention turns to tomorrow. That's when we'll see sunshine, but we will be cooler. Afternoon highs only top out right around 44 degrees. It'll be pretty windy as well.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, our canine correspondents, Lola and Louie, have the top animal stories of the week. We need some good news.
We do need some good news. And Michael Bruno spotlights our Lady Queen of Peace grade school's production of Peter Pan. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
Keep your wood floors looking their best with any of Surgenian's 3 hassle-free, dustless, and eco-friendly systems. Options include deep cleaning, clean screen and recoat, or dust-free sanding. Restore your wood floors today. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
Let me introduce me.
Cuts, colors, braids, and fades. We stand for style. Cost Cutter Salons.
#1 in color in Wisconsin.
Furniture and Appliance Mart is celebrating all week with the Ultimate Appliance Sale. Get the ultimate deals on top brand appliances all week long. Huge savings up to 50% off from brands like Whirlpool, LG, Samsung, and more. And finance your purchase interest-free until fall. Save even more on a huge selection of clearance items and floor samples while they last. No one beats us on price in-store and online because we are the home of the guaranteed lowest appliance prices in Wisconsin. Come celebrate savings only at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
At Mounds Pet Food Warehouse, we know that no two pets are the same. That's why each of our 5 southern Wisconsin locations is wall-to-wall with everything you and your pet need, including dog food, cat food, pet beds, thousands of toys, treats, and chews, and supplies for your small animals, birds, and reptiles, too. With so many options, finding what you need is easy. You gotta get down to Mounds and see for yourself. Mounds Pet Food Warehouse powers them all. And don't forget your free Mounds candy bar.
The world's largest consumer bicycle show, Bike-O-Rama, is this weekend at Madison's Alliant Energy Center.
Spring is coming, so is the 27th annual Bike-O-Rama, and admission is free.
Dozens of factory reps for all the major brands will be on hand to answer your questions about the new 2020 model.
All at the lowest prices of the year.
Test ride any e-bike on the huge indoor test track to win a $1,900 Fuji e-bike this weekend.
Clothing, helmets, parts, and accessories up to 90% off.
All bicycles include free local service.
The 27th annual Bike-O-Rama at Madison's Alliant Energy Center.
This weekend starts Friday at noon through 6 o'clock Sunday.
This is Jill Karofsky's arena, and she doesn't mess around. As a prosecutor and now a trial court judge, Jill has locked up criminals and protected our families. This is also Jill's arena, a 2-time Ironman triathlete. No one outworks her. Now Jill is entering this arena, running for the Supreme Court to stop corruption and the influence of big money special interests.
Whether you're a violent criminal or a corrupt politician, I will hold you accountable.
Fair, tough, independent. Jill Karofsky for Supreme Court.
In today's Final Touch, we take you to a dramatic rescue in Florida.
And firefighters pulled out all the stops to rescue a little boy's teddy bear.
Aww.
The bear, named Rockstar Freddy, had been thrown onto the roof of a school. Its owner, Ashton, had reportedly lost sleep over the incident, so the school brought in Cape Coral police and fire officials to rescue Rockstar Freddy. Responders ascended atop of the department's cherry picker, and the daring rescue unfolded on the school's roof. The operation was a success, and the kindergartner was reunited with his beloved bear. It was a gesture that was heartfelt and selfless, and definitely not a questionable use of